Good afternoon, Mountain House. This is Brian Harrison with a Mountain House Matters news update for you on this Tuesday noontime. I'm here with Khalid Saleh at the Zaytech Academy. We are bringing you live news coverage we want to give you an election update and some information came in last night, and then we've got some other community information that we thought you might like to know. So, as you know, our election, Mountain House is in the election mode still for becoming a city. The Measure D on the ballot last week, votes are still being counted. So we're bringing you election updates as the information comes in. The registrar of voters is planning to do Monday, Wednesday, and Friday evening updates as they count the votes. They're doing hand counting, so in the county, there's thousands of votes to count, and a fraction of that includes the Mountain House election. Our latest update, Measure D is still passing. It's going to pass. It's still over 90% approval. It did dip a little bit. It was at 91 something, I believe, and it's now at 90.89. So it's a pretty sure thing. Mountain House is becoming a city. We will all celebrate that July 1st when the city becomes active. In the time between now and then, the CSD staff will be converting things and training the incoming council members on what they need to know to begin the launch. The city of Mountain House will have a year transition time with the county to move from being a community services district to being a full-fledged city. And it's an exciting time to be part of Mountain House. For those of you who voted, your votes counted, and they're still being counted. So far, we have pretty definitive result in the mayoral race, although I don't think anybody's claimed victory or defeat in this yet, but Dr. Andy Sue has a 63% of the vote lead over 30%, 30.75 for Harry Dillon, and Raj Reddy has about 6%. So we will let you know when that's been definitive enough that victory has been claimed, I suppose is how you'd say that. In the council race, we have our mayor who's now being elected on a 4-year term, and the council is 4 other seats that will work with the mayor as a 5-member council. Those seats will also be 4 years, but initially only the top 2 vote getters will get 4-year terms. The 2 other vote getters, the 2 other winners, the 3rd and 4th seats, will get 2-year terms to be reelected in 2026. That way, then those seats will be 4-year terms as well. That'll offset the balance so that you only have 2 of the seats at a time going up for reelection. Thus far, we have a pretty tight race. It's starting to look a little more settled as we get more of the vote count in. The overall county vote count is at 23.8% of the total registered voters in San Joaquin County. There are 368,210 registered voters in San Joaquin County. Mountain House has just shy of 10,000 registered voters. So we're able to gauge statistically about how many votes are left to count. Prior to this latest update that came in last night, it was calculated there's probably about 1,500 votes left to count. I think they added another 400 or 500 in this one. I haven't done the math on that myself yet, but it's about that. So there's probably a little over 1,000 votes left to count. Like I said, the registrar is planning to release further data as they continue the counting tomorrow night and then again on Friday night. So we'll probably come back to you on Friday evening with another update unless something dramatic happens and we have information that needs to get out before that. At this point, 87,802 voters have cast their ballots out of the 368,210. That's where the 23.8% comes in. You can kind of look at the numbers based on total votes cast even for Measure D, that's at about 1,900, a little over 1,900, which squares with the mayoral race as well. So there's probably another 1,000 to come in. So things could change, at least in some of the races. For the city council, we have 8 people running for 4 seats, as you may know, if you've been paying attention. So far at this point, Matt Disco, current board president for the Mountain House Community Services District Board and the founder of the new Mountain House Chamber of Commerce and local handyman and DJ, he is leading the pack with just shy of 21% of the total vote in Mountain House. Dan Harrison, a former board member who was president back in 2017, I believe, 2018. He was on the board from 2016 to 2020. He has 17.47% of the vote. Bernice Tingle, who is a founding member of the current Community Services District Board from 2008 onward, and a past president of that board as well, leader of the Youth Action Committee, and also the representative to the Valley Link Regional Authority, Transit Authority. There's a word for that. I'm missing. She has 15% of the overall vote, 15.15. And in 4th place is Ronna Green with 13.15%. But the only real race at this point that looks like it could change, potentially, maybe not, because it's not trending that way, but it could change. In 5th place is TJ Rattan, who has 12.61% of the overall vote. And TJ is just 32 votes, actual votes, behind Ronna, with 1,000 or so left to count. Statistically, that could flip, or she could hold on to it. So far, she's been trending to hold on to it, but it's a very tight race. So that's the one we're going to keep our eyes on. Suresh Viuru and Sadia Khan and Wahid Mir all fall behind those 4. So that's kind of where that race stands. On Measure E, which is the question of how we're going to govern ourselves moving forward, the question put to voters was, do you want to continue at large, where everybody in town votes for everybody on the council, and everybody on the council then represents everybody in town? Or do you want to switch to a by-district? Or the third choice was from district. By-district being each council member on the council would have to represent a particular zone or district within the town, which would have to be established. But in order to be on the council, you have to live within that district, and you would be elected by the people in that district, and you would represent specifically those people from that district while representing the town at large. But that would be your focus as a council member. The third choice was sort of a hybrid, the from district way of voting, which would be where the council members have to be from a district and they would represent that district, but everybody in town would vote for all the council members. So it's kind of a different setup. Currently, the at-large program is in the lead by, it's got 44.63, almost 45% of the overall vote count. And then by district is in second at a 31, a little over 31% of the vote. So that's pretty definitive. The real changes we've seen in that since this reporting began is that the from district votes have picked up some steam. So it's over 24, almost 25% of the overall vote. So it's running closer to by district. By district and from district are running closer to each other than at large, which is leading the way. So it would appear at this point that more than likely we will be an at-large voting block moving into the future. So beginning with our 2026 election of the next 2 council members, that would begin, we'll see. But it's looking at this point that it'll be at-large. In other races, our county supervisor for the 5th district, Robert Rickman, has a leads handily at almost 53.57% of the counted vote. And the way that works is if a candidate in the primary, this was our primary election, if a candidate in the primary election carries more than 50% of the vote, then they win. And then there's no runoff. If it's less than that, then they will have a runoff in November. So for example, our assembly district race currently shows Rhodesia Ransom in the lead at over 42% of the vote, with Republican Denise Aguilar Mendez in the second position at a little over 36% of the vote. And then Edith Villapudua is in third, a Democrat, with 21.39%. So the top two of those will run off more than likely, unless something changes with the rest of the voting, which could happen. But if it continues to trend as it is, then it will be Rhodesia Ransom and Denise Mendez in the election in November. In the state race, for state senators race, Jerry McNerney and Jim Shoemaker will be moving on, it would appear. Shoemaker, a Republican, has 43.42% of the vote, and McNerney, the former congressman for our district, who kind of came out of retirement to run for a state senate, is at 33.09%. So Shoemaker's leading that race. And then Carlos Villapudua, the current assembly member who decided to run for a state senate, is in third place at 23.5%, also a Democrat. So more than likely you'll have, they kind of split the vote on that. So you'll have Shoemaker versus McNerney in the final election in November. And there are other races, but I think those are the ones that mostly pertain to Mountain House and the residents here. We will continue to keep an eye on these results, and really in particular that fourth seat on the city council, whether Ronna Green holds out or TJ Rattan makes a comeback here. The 32 votes is not without reason, so that could be that. In other Mountain House news, this was a busy weekend in town. The Mountain House High School music program held a pancake breakfast and pancake and dosa breakfast and eggs and stuff. We were there and it was delicious. We have some, I think we have just photo clips of that, right? No, I have a little video. The Mountain House High School jazz band performed as well during the breakfast, and I think we have a little clip from that. Awesome. So the band was really great, and they played for most of the event that we were there, which was quite a while. We hung out and chatted with people, and it's just a good community kind of space to greet and meet people. You can see a picture here of the lineup of the servers that were doing their thing there. And I think there's a shot of the room at large and a couple other shots.
And I have another one here.
There's Khalid.
Yep, there's me. Go to the slides here. Brian, can you tell us about how many people attended the Mountain House High School event here?
Well, you can get an idea looking at the room that it picked up. We got there pretty early. It ran from 8 till noon. So the overall stream of people, I'm not really sure how many people came through in total. When we got there, it was a little light. It was 8:30, and it was also daylight savings time day. So it was even earlier in our brains.
And which day was this?
This was on Saturday. No, this was on Sunday. That's
Sunday.
Right. I was thinking Saturday. It was Sunday.
Okay, 2 days ago.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And let me.
And so we stayed, my wife and I stayed there until about almost 11, because at 11 o'clock, we went over to the shopping center and for the grand opening and ribbon cutting of the new Häagen-Dazs ice cream store that is now open. We got there in time to, we actually, Robert and Karen Rickman were the first customers that the ice cream shop had after the ribbon cutting, and then Patricia and I got in after them. So we were the second people served. And it was a lot of fun. Matt Disco, as the new Chamber of Commerce leader, orchestrated the ribbon cutting, and Steve Pinkerton showed up with the big scissors that they used later. It's not in the picture we have, but
Actually,
they did another one.
I
There
have
you go.
that picture. Let me share that picture as well. I have it right here. There we go. We got the picture of Steve here.
Okay.
Let me know if
Here
this
you
is-
see Fani Hugamathi, who is the owner with his family. And there's Steve Pinkerton with the scissors. He had to go searching through the storage room at the town hall to find the scissors. And I think he walked over from there, maybe. So anyway, that was a great event. And word is, Matt Disco posted later that the sales for the first day, I guess, of this Häagen-Dazs store were greater than they've had in a Häagen-Dazs ribbon cutting grand opening in the past. So the community was clearly excited that this new feature is coming to town. We now have an ice cream store. So Mountain House is coming up in the world, besides becoming a city. I mean, you know. We thought we would also cover some of the community events that are coming up. The other day when we were on, we shared with you that the Community Services District is hosting a re-grand opening of the toy structures, the play structures at Central Community Park. That's happening tomorrow, Wednesday, the 13th of March, at Community Park at the Central Park at 4:30 in the afternoon. So bring your kids down. It'll be a lot of fun. The amenities are now open. I was by there last night, and even the newer play structure that we hadn't gotten some pictures of and was still fenced off, all of that's open now. Besides the main area by the fountain, all of that has been remodeled and completely redone. They pulled everything out and started fresh, and they've got some very cool features there. They also put some new ground cover in by the structure over by the picnic tables and the bowl area of the park. And that will probably last longer and withstand a lot of the rigors of kids playing on it every day. So we did want to cover a little bit more of upcoming events on the community calendar. If you look on page 23, Youth Action Committee. She works with the kids in town to kind of develop leadership skills with them. They have a meeting that's open to young people. I think a lot of different, it's a widespread age group. You could reach out to Ms. Tingle for more on that. Go to the QR code that's there or email her. You'll find her email address on the Mountain House Community CSD, I think it's mountainhousecsd.org website. This Saturday is the first of a couple of holy events. The CVGCA is doing a triple Dhamaka. I hope I'm saying that right. And it'll be Happy Holy, kite flying, DJ, and beats at Central Park from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. So I think we have a graphic image for that too.
Is this it right here? I'm about to pull it up.
The really colorful one.
This one here?
No, the other one.
The other one?
That one's for next weekend.
The other one? We'll pull that one up.
If you haven't experienced doing the holy event, it's so much fun. It's colorful and you get colored dust all over you, but it's just a blast. So experience that if you haven't experienced that. This Sunday is St. Patrick's Day. I don't know that we have anything in town specifically for that, but I bet if you go up to the Mountain House Bar and Grill, you probably find something up there. The farmers market is also happening Sunday. It's every week, and they have a newly updated Facebook page. So you can go to facebook.com, and I think it's /Mountain House Farmers Market, or if you search for it there. Oh, I think I have it on here. Yeah, just search Mountain House Farmers Market without the apostrophe on farmers, and you'll find their Facebook page. They've got all kinds of new stuff going on there, and we were at the farmers market I missed this last one, but the week before, it was rocking. There was lots going on there and lots of people too. Then next week is also on this week, I passed up. Tomorrow afternoon is the reopening of Central Park. Tomorrow night at 7 o'clock is the Community Services District Board of Directors meeting at Town Hall. That is open to the public. They also have a Zoom link. If you want to find that, it's at mountainhousecsd.org. You look for the agenda for the upcoming meeting, and it'll show you the Zoom link to get on there if you don't want to attend. But it can be a worthy thing to attend if you want to know more about what's going on. And given the fact that we just elected, or I don't know if they're calling it official, but it should be official that Mountain House is becoming a city, it'll be an interesting meeting to attend. So, and maybe I'll see you there. That could be good. Say hello if you see me there.
Brian, we have the flyer for the event. I was able to pull it up.
Oh, great. Let's do
Yeah.
that. Yeah, there you go. It's rather colorful. You'll also find that in the paper, on whatever page that's on. I want to say something, but I'm probably wrong, so I'm going to wait till I find it. It is on page 16. So if you look on page 16, you'll see that flyer. You'll also see a little article about the groundbreaking from the brand new fire station number 2, that's going to be built north of Byron, over the bridge to the Lake District, I think is what we're calling it. The bridge to nowhere is changing, evolving into the bridge to the Lake District. And back to the calendar then. Tomorrow night is the board meeting, and then Saturday is the CVGCA holy event, the triple Dhamaka, and from 10 to 2 again at Central Park.
And Brian, I have the Welcome to Lake District sign that you took. It's on the video there. So it's pulling up right now.
Oh, there you go. I was up on the bridge on my bike the other day. I was up there a few days ago for the Selma March, Selma to Montgomery Memorial that they did through the Mountain House United Club. But I think I took that picture when I was on up there. I rode my bike up there and looked down across the way there, and they've got the road built out, circling down and around, and there's street lights standards set up, and it looks like they're like getting really ready to build. And actually, my understanding is by September, they'll be putting sticks in the ground to build some homes there. So it's happening. There's been a little bit of a lull with the interest rates and the economy stalling and inflation and all of that this past year. And there's been a definite lack of inventory because people sitting on good interest rates don't want to sell. Overall, the real estate market has cooled quite a bit over what it was during the pandemic when it went nuts. But now it looks like it's about to go nuts again because you've got north of Byron about to start. You've got the Creekside development happening. Lennar is building a bunch of homes over there. I believe they're single-family homes and or duplexes, whatever they're calling those, duets, whatever they're calling those now. But it's coming along quickly. They've pulled more permits. I believe that Steve Pinkerton said there's like 81 permits pulled now. I had heard that there were 50. I think he said there were more than that now. So they're moving right along with that. And I'm sure that they want to have those as ready as they can by summer when the market's going to be a little hotter. With inflation rates coming down a bit, I think we're going to start seeing more growth happening again.
Yeah, we can see from the Redfin on the map there or on the web browser. It says home sold 6, I guess in the last month. Median home price about 832. 39 days on the market. I'm sure this is probably a downward trend. And then let's look at 5 years.
Yes, and you can also find in the paper there's Salah's report updating. It's on page 18 that gives you an update on the active home sales, and it's similar to that. His numbers are from January into February, January 23rd to February 19th. In the March issue when this came out, there were 8 pending home sales. Active homes were 7. Closed home sales were 5 at that time. You said there were 6 now. So, yeah, that tracks.
Which page is that on?
That is on page 18.
Okay. Let's take a look at page 18 here.
And he's got other statistics in there as well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Can you talk about the thing, bill to combat mental health crisis? That bill, I think it's about 50% being voted right now. Are you familiar with that one?
On page
On
5.
Mountain House Matters.
Yeah, actually, this March issue of the paper has quite a bit on mental health issues and stuff coming up. Congressman Harder, get to that. Yeah, I'm almost there. Josh Harder introduced a new bill to combat mental health, the mental health crisis, and adding more therapists to the Valley. On January 18th, he introduced the Bring More Therapists to the Valley Act to combat the growing mental health crisis in San Joaquin County. The county has only 24 highly trained mental health professionals for every 100,000 people, making it the lowest ratio of providers to patients in California. So this could be a really big boon. We have some more information on mental health stuff further back in the paper. On page 24, we have an article for, well, this is more physical health, simple steps for setting health goals, provided to us by Dr. Durant at Valley Chiropractic. There's also an announcement on a mental health care professional, Patience Morakang, who is a nurse practitioner in Stockton, and she has launched her own mental health services business here in town. I was just told this morning, I saw her last night, but somebody told me this morning that she's already had so much going on that she's keeping very busy. But you can find her contact information in the paper on page 24. And then we have, I'll touch on this too. I got a call from Bubba Paris, the former 49er who lived here in Mountain House for a time, and we got to know each other a little bit. He's spearheading a fundraising effort to develop a new facility for the Donor Network West Foundation. He is the new executive director, and they're working to raise $42 million to develop a facility in the East Bay that will serve to provide, I think, like an exchange for organ donors to be able to get the organs to people in need more quickly. It'll be called the Recovery Center and allow Donor Network West to help optimize time and maximize the number of gifts that are able to be transplanted to save lives. The new facility will include an ICU and organ recovery center. This space will be designed to provide a dignified place for organ donors and their families. In 2022, 416 organ donors gave the gift of life in our community. Every day, 17 people die, the article says, waiting for a life-saving organ transplant. With the new recovery center, he says we will be able to aid even more people who desperately need help. You can get more information at donornetworkwest.org. We also had an article on page 25, the next page, from our Mountain House High School biomedical pathway students, submitted by Sahithi Godi, that outlines some mental health issues there too, talking really about basic life support versus advanced life support and how the kids can learn CPR and basic life support and be able to actually help people in need. There's also an article on a high school junior, Anisha Pandey, who is a junior at Mountain House High School. She placed first place in the 2023 Congressional App Challenge. She developed an app called NeuroDraw that provides emotive-based art therapy and local resources for neurovergent individuals and their families. It's quite an accomplishment this young lady's done, and so you might want to read that article on page 25 of the March issue. So yeah, lots going on with that. Wanted to get back to the community calendar if I can find where I was with that. Just because we also have on March 20th is the next board meeting of the Lambersville Unified School District Board. They, as we reported last time, at the March 6th meeting, they approved the new district map that will go into effect with this November election, where they will first elect 3 of their 5 board members in a by-district setting. And their map is very different than what if Mountain House Community Services District / City Council were to go to a by-district format. That would be a whole different map structure because it would just be for Mountain House, and it would only be 4 districts because even if we went to that form, the mayor would continue to be elected at large. But the school district elected to go to a by-district setup, and their sphere of influence is all of Mountain House and the surrounding area. So when you look at their maps, it's a much bigger area. They elected what they called Orange B is their map of choice that will dictate how the board members, the trustees, will be elected in the future. So this first election in November will feature districts 1, 2, and 3. If you look on the front cover of the March issue of Mountain House Matters, just so happens that we published an image of a zoomed in image of that particular map, Orange B, that shows District 1 is in pink. It's considered the rural district that covers the bottom of town. It includes College Park and Cordes villages within Mountain House, but it also covers the surrounding rural area. Zone 2 will be the Hanson district and I think that covers a little bit into Bethany, it looks like. And Zone 3 will be primarily Wickland, but covers a little bit into Bethany as well. So you can see that map on the front page of the March issue. You can also find it at the Lammersville School District website, which we posted a link last time we were on. It's lammersvilleschooldistrict.net. And then there's a link to get to that map. It's a couple of steps. So I have it on the Mountain House Matters Facebook page, and we will repost it just so you have that too. Anyway, they have their next board meeting on the 20th at 7 o'clock at the board chambers at 111 South De Anza Boulevard. It used to be there all by itself. Now it's right adjacent to the Aviara apartment complex on De Anza at the end of the court there. Also that night, on the March 20th, that's next Wednesday, a week from tomorrow, the Mountain House Park and Rec Commission will be meeting at the Town Hall Board Chambers at 7 o'clock as well. I know that the Mountain House Tennis Group has been kind of lobbying and wanting to get more information. Plans are in the works to start the next phase of Central Park, I believe later this year, that will include 6 more tennis courts over by the 4 that are currently at Central Park. It'll be across the street, across Providence right there. And the design plans for that look phenomenal. Maybe we'll share that for you next time. On the 21st is a Public Safety Committee meeting, also at the chamber, the board chambers in Town Hall, and that'll be on Zoom as well. That starts at 7 o'clock. And then on Thursday, the 23rd, that's supposed to be Saturday, the 23rd. Typo, I found a typo in the paper. Do I get a prize? Starbucks, something? Porbo is hosting their Holy Festival, and Khalid, we did have that. That's that other image that you put on a little while ago.
Oh, you want that one?
Sure. Whether on our Facebook page or on our YouTube channel, if you have some feedback for us, things that you like, things that you'd like to see improved, or ideas of things we might cover for you on a broader scale, please let us know. We're open to your feedback. We want to hear from the community, and we're doing our best to serve the community at large here. So yeah, Saturday the 23rd is the Porba Holy Fest, and that'll be at Central Park as well, beginning at 11 a.m., runs 11 to 2. That's what I have here on the calendar. Hopefully, I had the day wrong, so hopefully that's right. And then the farmers market's on Sunday the 24th again. That's a weekly farmers market year-round, pretty much. I have a few exceptions, but pretty much year-round, from 9 in the morning till 1, and that's in the parking lot at Town Hall and the library, if you don't know. And then March 31st is Happy Easter. And then on April 5th, I don't know if I gave you this, Khalid. There's a little spot in the newspaper on it. On April 5th, it's a Friday evening, is the 2nd annual Rotary Club of Mountain House Cajun Fest. And that's going to be, it was a big fun time last year. We held it at the Mountain House Bar and Grill. We'll be back there again. Starting at 5 o'clock in the evening. You can find out more information at Rotary MH, like Mountain House, rotarymh.org is the website. And tickets are on sale. You can buy a whole table if you want to bring a bunch of people. There's going to be some raffles and or silent auction items, and there'll be live music, some band and some local band, Mojo Rising. It's my band, all right? My band's playing at the Mountain House Bar. We haven't played there for a while since we did this last year. So come on out. It's going to be a lot of fun. And there will be a DJ after the band plays. Dinner's at 6 o'clock. It starts at 5 with some live music and just people gathering. So get your tickets, rotarymh.org. Come out for that. And I think I have right on that same calendar page in the top right corner there's a little spot on that. That's page 23, if you've got your paper in your hands.
And I
And-
see one here for a community garage sale. Did you already mention that one?
Oh, thank you for reminding me. Mountain House Matters is hosting once again it's the 16th annual Mountain House Community Garage Sales Weekend. This is an event that has been popular for a long time. We even got through it through COVID. And we found through our survey studies that trying to break it up into separate weekends, we tried for a couple of years we had it where it was 2 villages per weekend for 3 weekends in the month of April. And by the end of it, the last 2 villages were having what we could only define as garage sale fatigue, and because their turnout wasn't really nearly as great as the first 2 weekends. So we decided to go back, based on our surveys that we got, that we decided to go back to trying it just 1 weekend throughout town. So it's going to be April 20th and 21st. It's free to register. Your garage sale will be at your own home. You don't have to go anywhere. You just set up your garage sale. You will want to register though, because we'll put you on a list we'll put your address on a list of where the garage sales will be happening. And there will be a map that will pinpoint where each sale is happening. And we'll be promoting that in the next issue and online as best we can in various social media apps. It's always a great time, and it's an opportunity for you to clean out your garage and get rid of some stuff that you're done with that somebody else might want. Following that, in the original tradition of these garage sales, it used to be that West Valley Disposal would plan a day, your normal garbage day. They would come by and you would have an opportunity to have a free spring cleanup where they would take the stuff that you had left over from your garage sale. That was switched a few years ago, so you still have the opportunity for a free spring cleanup, but it's at your discretion. So you can call and organize with West Valley Disposal an opportunity for you to have your spring cleanup done. Let's see if I can get that number for you. So their number is 209-835-3639. And you can go to westvalleydisposal.com for more information on how that works and what's allowed and what's not. Because I don't think you can do super big furniture items. There's probably a weight limit, I think is how that works. And electronics need to be scheduled in order to, I believe they can handle it, but not in this pickup, not in your free pickup. So we've already alerted West Valley Disposal that we're doing the garage sale weekend, April 20th and 21st. So they will be expecting a good number of calls. And I think it would probably behoove everybody if they were able to come do that right afterward. We did ask them about possibly offering that up, but the response was that they've had such good response with doing it individually by when people want their spring cleanup done, that's not going to happen. Plus, the Community Services District Board elected to switch it to the other method 3 years ago, I think. So, but yes, the garage sale is a great thing. You'll get it. When you register, you can have the opportunity to list some of your more major items. So when people are out garage sailing, if we have 150 homes involved in the sale like we've had in the recent years, people will be able to look at what they're looking for in particular and make those their priorities, because getting to 150 sales in 2 days might be a bit much, but you can at least get around to the ones that you want to see. So plan now to do that. It would really help us to know ahead of time how many people are going to be involved this year in our promotion efforts, as well as putting together the map and the list. It just makes it easier if it comes in sooner. So I appreciate you doing that. You can find a link to register on the Mountain House Matters Facebook page. I've got it pinned at the top of the page. There's also a link to a page that I found that gives some good advice on preparing for a garage sale. So if you want to kind of look at what you need to consider when you're setting up your garage sale and how to make it more effective so that people come in and actually buy stuff. Yeah, look there. Also, I've got that on mhmatters.net on the homepage. You can find a link to register there as well. And I think, is that all we have, Khalid? We got
Yeah, no, I think
got
we
all
covered-
the items covered.
I-
We will get
we-
back to you on the next phase of the election, if not tomorrow night, probably not tomorrow night because there's a board meeting. And so on Friday, we'll plan on coming to you live again and give you an update, not only on the election, but some coverage on what went down on the board meeting too, and whatever else we can come up with in between now and then. Mountain House is growing so quickly now and has become such an active community that there's a lot to be put in there. Our goal here is to supplement the news that's in the paper. So I encourage you to read your paper because there's lots of good stuff in there. And invariably, the biggest challenge I've had over the years since I started the paper is almost every time it comes out, right afterward, there's something else that should have been in there that missed it. So by the time we put it in the paper, it tends to be sort of stale, sort of old news. So our goal here is to be able to supplement what's in the paper by giving you more as it happens kind of reporting. So hope you enjoy it. Please like and follow and subscribe on the YouTube channel and give us your feedback. We'd love to hear from you. Khalid, you got anything to add?
No, got everything covered today. I'm looking forward to the next one. Thanks again, Brian.
Yeah, thank you, Khalid. In
Welcome.
collaboration with Zaytech Academy, this is Brian Harrison, Mountain House Matters. We bid you good day.